Neverness to Everness's first collab, the Porsche 918 Spyder, is here. But exactly how is this collaboration going to be working? Am I going to be pulling on it? And what pitfalls could you be looking forward to when this comes out? What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Josh. You may have heard a lot of different things, like it's going to be free. There's different things going on. It's going to have its own banner #1, and it's going to be more of a traditional Skinner box loot style system. If you don't know what that is, there's going to be 15 different items that you can pull when you pull on this Porsche collab banner. Each time you pull one of those items, it's going to be removed from the pool, meaning that every time you pull on the banner, you're going to have a lower and lower amount of different items that you can pull for. And as those items are removed, well, your odds of gaining access to the higher and rarer things like the car itself or the skin go up slightly over time. And I know you're already partying, oh yes, every time I pull it's gonna get slightly increased odds for me. Well, but it could honestly sort of wreck your account if you think you're gonna have the best chances of all time to get the rarest item right away. But the main thing we want to cover here is that this banner has two different ways for you to pull on it. You can pull on it with either Annulith, which is the currency that you use to transform into the different dice, so you can pull on characters, or you can pull on it with Fons, and every time you do a pull, the cost for either of those currencies is going to go up. So this is going to be the pricing of the Porsche collab banner. This is going to be a nice little illustration I found on Twitter by Nomura Akane. I have their Twitter channel linked down in the description for you below as well. And you can see the scaling. Now, I do want to let you know as well, it does not cost both of these things at the same time. You choose either or for each individual pull, and then your follow-up pulls will just always scale. So for example, if you want to use only Fons as you pull all the way down, it's going to cost you 50,000 Fons for the first pull, then 80,000, then 100,000, then 200, 300, 500, 800, 1 million, 1.5, 2 million. That being said, you can also choose to mix and match which currency you want to pull on any given step. You're not locked into pulling on the banner with only Annulith or only Fons. For example, if you want to do the first 6 pulls with Fons, you spend 50K, 80K, 100K, 200K, 300K, 500K, and then you're like, I want to swap up to Annulith now, then that 7th pull is going to be 500 Annulith. Then the 8th pull will either be 800 Annulith or 1 million Fons. It's up to you. And so this is going to give you a little bit of wiggle room to combine your currencies. If you want to scale all the way up to that Spyder at the very end, you can mix and match a couple million Fons with some Annulith you have saved up, vice versa. Maybe you are an Annulith extraordinaire, right? You've been swiping that credit card, you can just go Annulith all the way. Or maybe you have a couple of millions of Fons saved up and you want to save yourself, you know, the Annulith you would spend on pull 13, 14, and 15, you can just spend Fons there. You could also do the exact opposite, which is what I would suggest for you to do. In my opinion, one of the best ways to pull on this banner, if you're going to go all the way to pull 15, you want to make sure you get the Porsche, you have to pity it. You're going to want to be spending your Fons very early on, because the Fons scaling is absolutely outrageous in comparison to the Annulith scaling. So for pulls 1 through 5, 50K Fons, 80K Fons, 100K, 200K, 300K, 500K Fons. If you get up to the 6th pull, the 7th pull, maybe even like the 8th pull, spending only Fons, I think that's a pretty solid spot to stop pulling Fons, because after that 8th pull, where we have 1 million Fons, then we're starting to really ramp up the amount of Fons increase versus the amount of Annulith increase on this banner. Considering you're going from 1 million Fons to 1.5 million Fons, going from 8 to 9, versus 800 Annulith to 1,000 Annulith, going from 8 to 9, you can kind of get the gist that you should be saving your Annulith for some of these final pulls. The 8th all the way up to the 15th pull is much more, well, easier, lesser on the wallet to spend your Annulith there than it is to spend your Fons on the later half. It gets so expensive Fon-wise in the later half of these pulls on the Porsche 918 Spyder banner that it becomes almost ridiculously expensive to pull strictly with Fons all the way through. And it's a pretty big deal spending all of this Fons, especially if you're a newer player. I mean, everyone's kind of a new player right now because of the importance of the Hunter Exchange Shop in NTE, allowing you to buy very important items to level your characters, level your arcs. In fact, even pull on new arcs for characters with the tri keys. I mean, for instance, yeah, we look at this, we say, oh man, 1.2 million for 15 tri keys. Hey man, that's a pull and a half, right? That's like a pull and a half on a new gacha thing that's coming out with like Lacrimosa or any of the future characters that we're expecting to receive in NTE. If you're pulling with Fons, it's taking that Fons out of your account, and it actually is worth something. Fons isn't just for cosmetic stuff in NTE, so you could be putting your account a little bit in a more detrimental state if you're just going to be spending all of your Fons on this Porsche banner without even having the ability to hit all 15 pulls with Fons alone. You could literally, and I hate this because it's one of the most clickbait things for any gacha game ever. Like, I bricked my account, right? You've seen those thumbnails before. It's totally possible that you log in, you get in there, you have all these cool things going on, and you earn some Fons, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to pull in the Porsche banner a little bit. I'm going to spend the 5 million Fons I have on my account. And you don't really get anything. Maybe you just get some of the garbage rewards. You don't get the Porsche, you don't get the skin, you don't get anything you're happy with. And then not only did you not get anything from the Porsche collab banner, but the opportunity cost of you spending 5 million Fons on the Porsche banner means you're no longer buying your tri keys. You're no longer buying all of this stuff, your beetle coins to level your characters up. You unlock more tri keys as you're leveling up your tycoon level. You're unlocking more things like friendship items with the shells of the eternal song. There's dreamless seeds in here that you can buy. There is a ton of stuff that you can buy with the Hunter exchange. So I just wanted to throw that in there as well. Like, don't think that Fons is useless in this game if you're a brand new player. It's pretty useful in a lot of ways. In a ton of ways, it's one of the best ways to get beetle coins without having to spend energy farming up those beetle coins from the different rabbit holes and dimension scenarios. So these are going to be like the rates, the percentages basically of pulling the important stuff. All right, so we can see, we talked about the Porsche, right? You cannot get the Porsche at all in your first 5 pulls. It's a 0%. 0%. So if you're trying to pull on this Porsche with just Fons, you have to spend 50, 80, 100,000, 150, 200,000, and it's still a 0% chance to get the Porsche. The first time you can get the Porsche is when you're pulling on the banner for 300,000 Fons, and it is a 0.22% chance. And you can see the odds of getting the Porsche in this typical Skinner loot box gameplay style are extremely low. And so you get to the final 3 pulls. I mean, even on pull 12, we're at a 7.7% chance to get the Porsche, and we're spending Fons wise 2.5 million, 4.5 million, 5, 6, 7. We're almost at like 10 million Fons collectively for spending just Fons to get through pulls 1 all the way through 12, and then in addition to that, another 3 million Fons at pull 13 just to get the Porsche. Now, once you get that far up, it becomes pretty successful, right? Pull 14 is 31%. And then obviously, if you haven't gotten it by the 15th pull, it's 100%. The outfit is a little bit better here, right? 0.3%, even on your first pull for 50,000 Fons, you can get super lucky. Very good. It's honestly, it's better. You have better odds of getting the outfit on your first pull than you do on getting the Porsche on the first possible pull. The first possible pull for the Porsche is 0.22%. The first possible pull for the outfit is 0.36%. And then by the time you're up on your 6th pull, which is where you can get the Porsche, 0.22% for the Porsche, 2.9% for the outfit. You don't get above 10% rate for the outfit, though, until you get to the 11th pull. So that is still a tremendous amount of Fons. If you want to have, like, I don't know, what is this going to be, like a 15 to 16-ish, somewhere in there, percent chance overall of gaining access to the outfit from Fons alone up on this 11th pull. You're spending 2, 3.5, 4.5, 5, 5.8, 6. You're spending about 7 million Fons between pulls 1 all the way up through 11 there. So once you do that, if you have around like 8 million Fons, you want to finish this load out though. Once you get up to like pull 11, pull 12, you spend that 8 to 10 million Fons, then you can finish it off with Annulith. And that is what I would do here, because you can see, right, we're already at the 12 marker. Then you just need 1.8K, 2K, and 2.2K, right? If you can suck it up, you really want that car that bad, if you have the 8, 9, 10 million Fons saved up, ready to rock and roll, and this collab's gonna go on for, I think, 31 days or so. If you have like that Fons saved up, you haven't used it for anything else, and this is what you want, you can finish off, instead of needing another 10 million Fons, you can finish it up by just using around, I think it's like 6K Annulith there. If you use Annulith on pulls 13, 14, as well as 15 there. And there's also the averages down here. We found this out. It's gonna, on average, take you 14.3 pulls to pull the Porsche. And that's just because, well, the 15th pull's guaranteed. It's doing a lot of weight there, right? And then it's gonna take you a little over 13 pulls on average to get the outfit. I personally don't think I'm gonna be pulling on it. I'm not that big of like a Porsche car guy. I don't really care. The outfit's cool, although I already have my cool outfit that I spent some Fons on as well already anyhow. And since I'm free to play, I want to have the ability to spend my Fons and spend my Annulith on new characters and new arcs that are coming out, instead of just some cool, but also basically just cosmetic things in Neverness to Everness. I just wanted to get this out there for you, wanted you to know my thoughts about it, arm you with a little bit of information, so when it comes out, you won't be confused and you'll know exactly everything we talked about in this video. With that being said, guys, God bless out there, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.